backs. I'll let Pilch start this one off.
Right. Risers, two men here, Aaron Jones and Derrick Henry. I was actually way too low on Henry last week, and he's showed me up with 47, so he's obviously a top three running back. And then Aaron Jones as well. And then fallers, I've got Kamara, just purely because what I said in the other episode, that the Saints offense just stinks. Winston's barely chucked up over 100 yards in each of his first two games. And as a running back, you need a good offense to get points. And Kamara's not one of those workhorses that pumps out 30 carries a game. So he needs some solid QB play to get him his points. Zeke as well, just because he's not getting the workload we thought. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, just because he stinks. Like, potentially the worst running back of all time.
You're such a dog. Like, that is so rough. That is so rough. Oh, my God. Yeah. Anyways,
like, I like him, but come on. Get good.
No, that's outrageous. Well, it's pretty hard to tear up the box score when you're playing with the most talented quarterback of all time. But I'm just struggling to accept that one, really. I agree with your call about Kamara. I think he's a bit of a spicy buy low, though, because I just reckon he's going to get that many catches. But yeah, no, his touchdown scoring threat is definitely a worry. Darrell Henderson, love this bloke. Did last year, did this year. Traded him away before week 1. I had him as my number 16. But interestingly, the Rams have actually run it more than they've thrown it in the red zone. The red zone carries, he's up at about 80%. So I think Michelle's volume will increase as he gets more used to the offense. But he's seeing 68% of snaps. I just think Henderson's a beast, and I reckon he's definitely one of the better RB2s you could get going, and I feel like he's not that well known. Like, he doesn't have big name value or anything, so if you have people in your league who are just casual fantasy players, I feel like you could rip them off. My fallers, Devin Cook. This is probably an interesting one, but item is my number 3 going into the weekend. My issue here is they don't seem to be as reliant on the run as they once were. They've got a new offensive coordinator, and Kirk Cousins has actually been playing really well. So, I'm worried he's not going to get the volume that he has in previous years. He's only had 4 red zone carries so far across the 2 weeks. Game script has not suited them at all, and I don't know if it's going to continue to suit them because I don't think they have a great team. And he's still a running back 1, and I'm not even sure if he drops in my rankings. It's just I think a bit less of him after this weekend. And then finally Saquon Barkley. I still had him at number 4, but he's just not. At this point, I don't think he's an RB1. It sucks to see. His snap count was 67%. When he was at his best, it was up at around 80, 90. He did look better in week 2 than week 1. But I just don't think he has the volume right now to be top 5, even top 10. So, it's going to be a hard one because I don't think anyone would be keen to trade with you if you own Saquon. But, yes, it's a tough one there. Curtis?
I'm going to start with Eckler. The man returned to the receiving running back beast that he is. He had 9 of 9 for 61 yards on the weekend. And if he can mix it up with that 17 rushes he had in the first week, I think he had, and he could actually be even better than what I had him on the board, which was 6. So I think he's a riser, especially for this week. I believe they play the Chiefs, and the best way to keep the Chiefs offense under wraps is to keep them off the field. So I think the run game is going to be huge this week for them. I've also got Elijah Mitchell as well in my risers. The man did have a stinger and a shoulder injury this week, was taken off, but did come back on in that last quarter. The reason I do have him in the risers is Sermon is injured on concussion protocol, out for the week. We have Hasty, who had an ankle injury, suspected to be out for a large portion of the season. So I don't know who they just signed from the practice. Well, it wasn't from their practice squad. It was from Cincinnati's practice squad. But it seems like Elijah certainly might be the main man at San Fran if he can get up this week. For the fall, just had the single man in Clyde. I think Clyde isn't a bad running back, like Pilch is saying, but I think if you're a fantasy manager owning Clyde, you got to have your alarm bells ringing because the simple fact is he's not getting the volume. And if you complement with the fumble he had and the poor yards per carry, it's a significant concern. So yeah, if I have him, boys, I would be trying to offload him for the best possible price I can get.
Yeah, agree with those ones. I swear, like Eckler, his catching skills are ridiculous. Like some of the catches he whipped down the weekend were like that good. Did the Niners sign Kerryon Johnson, or was that another team? I saw that he got added somewhere.
Nah, it was some. I'll get it up. It's a little fancy name from the Cincinnati Bengals practice squad.
Yeah, no, I can't say I know who it is. But yeah, Kerryon signed for someone, and I remember thinking like, oh, that's interesting, but don't remember who it is.
It's a miracle! Oh yeah! What about that one? Unbelievable! Balotelli, Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.